Along with fellow founders D'Angelo and Erykah Badu, Maxwell was also enormously important in defining and shaping the neo-soul movement that rose to prominence in the latter half of the 1990s. Drawing his greatest inspiration from the likes of Prince, Marvin Gaye, and Stevie Wonder, he recorded some of the most ambitious R&B of his time, becoming wildly popular and often earning critical raves in the process. American singer-songwriter and record producer Gerald Maxwell Rivera, known simply as Maxwell, was born in Brooklyn, New York on May 23, 1973. The child of a teenage Haitian mother and a markedly older Puerto Rican father, he has always been self-conscious about the less-than-ideal circumstances surrounding his birth. When his parents' relationship came to light, they faced harsh criticism from their respective families, both because of their strict religious backgrounds and because of the cross-cultural, interracial nature of the liaison. He told Giant Magazine in 2009, "It wasn't a planned pregnancy. My mother's family flew out to New York while she was pregnant, and she had me out in Brooklyn so that no one would know, because there was shame in having me." Maxwell suffered the loss of his father, who wasn't in the picture, in a plane crash when he was just 3 years old. The experience made him a deeply religious child, and he first began singing in his Baptist church. Still, he didn't really get serious about music until the age of 17, when he began writing his own songs using a cheap Casio keyboard given to him by a friend. The first time he sat down with it, he looked up and realized that 8 hours had passed, and he was still wearing his school jacket and backpack. Maxwell had found his future.
I moved to Manhattan when I was 17 and, got into music when I was 16, so everything really sort of changed for me at that point.
What was the change? What was the situation before you got into music?
I was really shy, and I was really unpopular in school and just basically invisible to, people in general. And when I got into music, it gave me a voice. It gave me a reason to feel like I was a part of the human race, because before then I was just kind of like an observer.
Fun fact, Maxwell's first job was a dishwasher at a Pizza Hut. Initially influenced by early 80s R&B, he progressed rapidly, and by 1991, he was performing on the New York club scene, despite ridicule from classmates who couldn't imagine the shy, awkward teenager doing anything of the sort. He estimates that he wrote as many as 300 songs during the club days in New York, a byproduct of being too shy to form a relationship. But it wasn't until he had a love affair that he found a focus for his writing. After making a name for himself, Maxwell signed a recording contract with Columbia Records in 1994. He adopted his middle name as his stage moniker, keeping his real identity a closely guarded secret out of concern for his family's privacy. He recorded his debut album that year, a romantic concept album in the vein of Marvin Gaye's greatest 70s work, with a more modern flavor courtesy of Prince's influence. Its celebration of committed monogamy, however, could have come off as old-fashioned as its classic influences, given the marketplace dominance of hip-hop soul at the time. Partly because of those fears, it wasn't released right away, although a series of shakeups in Columbia's management played a bigger role in the delay. It wasn't until the spring of 1996 that the album, titled Maxwell's Urban Hang Suite, finally appeared. The project was produced primarily by mixer, producer, engineer, and musician Peter Mokran, who was credited as PM, and Maxwell, who was credited as Muse, a play on the word muse. After a slow start, it experienced chart growth on both the top R&B hip-hop albums and Billboard 200, peaking at number 8 on the former and number 36 on the latter. It went on to later be ranked as one of the year's top 10 best albums by Time, Rolling Stone, and USA Today, and gave him his first Grammy Award nomination for Best R&B Album. 4 singles were released: Till the Cops Come Knockin', Ascension, Don't Ever Wonder, Something Something, and Sweet Lady, The Proposal Jam, with Ascension, Don't Ever Wonder putting up the best numbers, peaking on the Hot R&B Hip-Hop Singles chart at number 8. The track also gave Maxwell his first top 40 hit, coming in at number 36 on the Billboard Hot 100.
If you don't know, then I'll say it, so don't ever wonder.
The very next year, he made a critically acclaimed appearance on MTV Unplugged. Unfortunately, he clashed with his label regarding the release of the session, resulting in an EP being put out instead of the full concert as a live album. Maxwell's second studio album, Embrya, was released in June 1998. Reviews were more mixed this time around, with some critics claiming that his ambition had crossed the line into self-indulgence. Still, it captured top 5 placements on the top R&B hip-hop albums chart and Billboard 200 albums chart, coming in at number 2 and number 3 respectively, duplicating its predecessor's platinum sales. Then he released the single Fortunate, which appears on the soundtrack for the 1999 buddy comedy drama film Life. It peaked at number 1 on the R&B singles chart, and to date is Maxwell's most successful single, as well as Billboard's number 1 R&B single of 1999.
Fortunate to have you, girl. I'm so glad you're in my world.
Later that year, he also cut 2 songs for the soundtrack of The Best Man, As My Girl and Let's Not Play the Game. In August 2001, Maxwell returned with his third album, Now, which was touted as a return to the more straightforward, romantic atmosphere of his debut. 3 singles were released, Get to Know Ya, Lifetime, and This Woman's Work. Lifetime became a hit, coming in at number 5 on the R&B singles chart and number 22 on the Hot 100. The album went all the way to number 1 on both the top R&B hip-hop albums chart and Billboard 200. It would also serve as his last release before he took a lengthy hiatus from performing. Maxwell didn't resurface until 2008, when he did a surprise performance of Simply Beautiful during an Al Green tribute at the BET Awards in Los Angeles. A handful of intimate gigs and another BET Awards performance prefaced his 4th studio album, Black Summer's Night, released in July 2009. It would serve as the first part of his scheduled trilogy of albums. Commercially, the album was a success, debuting at number 1 on the Billboard 200. It produced 4 singles, Pretty Wings, Bad Habits, Cold, and Fistful of Tears. Pretty Wings debuted at number 1 on the R&B chart and peaked at number 33 on the Hot 100. Maxwell received 6 Grammy nominations in total for his work, and finally won his first awards for Best R&B Album for Black Summer's Night and Best Male R&B Vocal Performance for Pretty Wings. In a 2009 interview with Reuters, he spoke about his feelings surrounding his hiatus. The time away gave me a better appreciation of things, so I took the time I needed to live to make this album something of substance. People tend to be so hell-bent on remaining famous that you become desensitized to the music industry to some level. But my passion is making music and promoting and supporting great musicians. Throughout his career, Maxwell has mainly kept his personal life private and his nose clean. But in August 2013, he faced backlash on social media from some fans regarding his choice of romantic partners. The controversy erupted when he posted photos on Instagram of himself with white European women. To the surprise of his followers, he ended up responding to the influx of anti-swirl comments with this message. Sick of some of you chiming in on my friends and insulting them with racist comments. You know nothing, you assume everything, and you should know better, and worship is for God, not me, so sit down. I don't give a f***. I'm putting every type of girl in my Instagram. Go fuck yourself if you're a racist asshole. In April 2016, Maxwell released his first solo single in 6 years, titled Lake by the Ocean. It would serve as the lead single for his long-awaited 5th album, the similar titled Black Summer's Night, which was finally released that July. It charted at number 3 on the Billboard 200 while garnering widespread acclaim from critics. The following year, he sparked a race-based conversation on Twitter after he revealed his views on Black History Month. In a now-deleted tweet, he said the annual month-long recognition of the accomplishments of past, present, and future Black figures should include everyone because Black History Month is beneficial to all of us because not all of us look a typical Black. The message was accompanied by an image of jazz legend Lena Horne. Another tweet further pushed his stance with a hashtag that meant to include all races. Things then got more tense when he responded to one Twitter user's statement poking fun at the sales of his last album. He replied back via direct message, saying, "Check the numbers, bitch." He later returned to the social media platform to clarify his remarks, adding that his words were misinterpreted, and he intended to represent all shades of black to honor the observance holiday. Interestingly enough, this wasn't Maxwell's first time stirring up controversy on Twitter. Last summer, he tried to lend his voice to the ongoing police violence against black people and the Dallas shootings, but insisted on repeatedly using the hashtag #HumanLivesMatter. At the time, he was met with mostly just stern criticism. In 2019, Maxwell was honored by the Congressional Black Caucus for his achievements in the arts, as he graciously accepted the Lifetime Achievement Award for his innovative contributions to the music industry as a singer, songwriter, and producer. He got choked up while speaking to the audience. To be included and to be recognized by my peers, most of my life, I didn't really feel black enough or anything enough. Especially being West Indian, Haitian mother, and Puerto Rican father, born in Brooklyn. All you know is 98.7 KISS, WBLS, and you're pretty much all of it. I feel like in some ways, my journey is to sort of express to all of us that no matter variation of what our African is, we are black and we are beautiful. In many interviews, Maxwell has spoken about wanting to get married and have children, telling Reuters in 2009, "I know this sounds crazy, but at the end of the day, I just want to have a house on the hill, some kids, and a wife I will never divorce. It's that simple." As of the recording of this video, he has yet to marry or have any children. A couple of years ago, he put on his very own Tiny Desk concert. His set featured Something Something, Bad Habits, Lifetime, Pretty Wings, and a special presentation of his latest single, a cover of the Al Green classic Simply Beautiful, which he's featured on his tours for a while. To end his set, he performed the song that launched his career, Ascension, Don't Ever Wonder. It's now been a full decade since Maxwell's last album dropped. Since then, he's released a few singles, including Shame and Off, which are said to be included in the final installment of his Black Summer's Night trilogy. But the question still remains, when is it being released? Well, a quick look at his Instagram, as well as comments he's made while on tour, suggests that this year may be the year. 2026 also marks the 30th anniversary of his debut album. To celebrate, a special vinyl edition is scheduled for release on June 5th. It's been remastered at 24-bit high-res audio and includes an 8-page booklet featuring rare photos and honors the album that helped define a new era of R&B.